Scientific and the Explore Alliance, and I'm here with Kent Martz. Annie is taking a break today. She'll be back tomorrow. But we, Annie left it up to us to talk about Explore Alliance and all the things that its ecosystem, its universe, and so um, we have a lot going on. We have certainly we have the events happening like. We'll be attending Starmus, giving a star party there in Armenia. We are hosting the Arizona Dark Sky Star Party, which has now morphed into something called the Oracle Dark Sky Cultural Festival, okay, which includes art and music and food and all kinds of good things. As Oracle, the village of Oracle, starts to embrace its dark skies. I think they always have, but they're getting together.
Oh, they have, Scott,
quite a deal out of it.
But this created a community event. They saw this and they were like, "Oh, we could do this and this and this
exactly,
and sidewalk astronomy and food parties and tours and." Yeah. And it has become a community festival.
In the star party, so which is really cool. Really cool.
So there's going to be those people who are attending the star party is paid are going to gain access to the park at night and can attend the lectures and things like that. And then there's the community outside of the park is where this other whole festival is going on, but it's sort of coalesced into one thing effectively.
Yeah, which is going to make it a lot of fun. And give you lots of reasons to go to this particular event. If you like art, you like music, you want to do it at night, this is for you. I know that the Catalina Council of Scouts is going to be there. That includes boys and girls. They're going to be doing STEM activities there. We're going to have astrophotographers there on site and people doing deep sky observing. Of course, David Levy will be there. We're expecting Adam Block, famed astrophotographer Adam Block. Connie Walker will also be there. We also have other people that will be giving talks, including David Eicher, Fred Espinac, Mr. Eclipse will be coming in virtually into the event. So this is also kind of a hybrid type of event. But if you're wanting to learn more about astronomy and observe from dark skies and have a great time doing it, you might consider signing up for the Arizona Dark Sky Star Party. And you can find that on explorescientific.com and just go to Explore Alliance and events, and you will find where you can sign up. So that's just one of the events that we have going on. If you are,
Scott, when is that? When is that, Scott?
September 21st to the 25th.
Right. Okay.
Right.
September. September 21 through 25.
That's right. This year.
Yep. this year.
That's right. And then we have the Mount Wilson Star Party and with the Huntington Library tour. Okay, so that's going to be really cool. If you've never been to Mount Wilson, you're in for a treat because this place is living history. We're going to be using the same telescope that Harlow Shapley used to discover that the Milky Way was not the only galaxy in the universe. He also discovered that. No, that's not true. He's the only one. He's the one that discovered that we are not in the center of the universe. And then it was
there we go.
And Hubble on the 100-inch in 1923, something like that, that discovered that the Andromeda Galaxy, or nebula as it was called, was indeed another galaxy. So, back to the drawing board for all the astronomers.
So, Scott, I find it fascinating that the universe has only existed for less than 100 years.
Yeah, in our minds.
Well, it's been here for, exactly. It's existed for less than 100 years. Just fascinating that's only been that short a time ago, and the
That's true.
progress from that to the James Webb Space Telescope in under 100 years is
Yeah. And
astounding.
now
Now,
we're looking
Scott,
back to who knows how far back into time we're looking with Jay West. So
so Scott, the Mount Wilson Star Party is a very limited event. It's limited to 25 people,
right.
and it's coming up October 7 and 8, right? 6 and
Yes.
7.
6th and 7th, I
Yeah,
think is when it is.
6 and 7. That's a
Yeah.
Saturday and Sunday at Mount Wilson in California. There's a couple of
7th and
spots
8th.
left.
7th and 8th. Yeah. There's only two
7th and
spots
8th.
left. All right.
Maybe 3, but there's a couple. There's a
Maybe
little bit
three.
of room
Okay.
left.
Okay.
But once we get to that point, it's full. And if you call me after that and go, "Hey, Kent, I really want to go," and I'll tell you when the dates are for 2024 or 2023 because
2023.
25 is it. 25
Right.
is it. So
Yeah.
that's all
We
that
do
we
it.
can
We try to
because
do
it's
it
a
every
small,
year.
intimate.
That's right. We try to do it every year, but we were unable to, of course, because of COVID. But we've done it a couple of times already, and it fills up very quickly. And so, if we still have a couple of spots left, you're definitely going to want to sign up for that. Again, you just go to explorescientific.com into the Explore Allaince tab and look at events, and you'll find it right there, and you can get signed up for that. The place to
You
fly
could probably
in,
search. Yeah. You could probably search, Scott, for in the search bar Mount Wilson or Arizona Dark Sky Star Party. Both of those will
sure,
pop up, I'm sure, in the
that's
search
right.
function as well.
That's right. Yeah, so I would strongly recommend you consider attending that because you're going to be, it's an experience from a historical standpoint. You're going to be standing in the same spot that Einstein stood, and Edwin Hubble will show you Hubble's locker. It is just all the amazing people, iconic people that helped lay the groundwork for modern day astrophysics were there, and so it's definitely something to be part of. When you Before you leave, you'll receive a certificate um, that will be signed by the telescope operator of Mount Wilson, basically anointing you as a Mount Wilson astronomer for the night. So, that's kind of cool. And but the memories of seeing some of the objects I've seen through that 60-inch telescope are just literally burned into my brain. And I, you can't get tired of looking through a telescope like that. It's just my views of Saturn, Mars, Jupiter, the Moon were mind blowing.
And that's what we're going to be looking at. It's going to be a night of planets, basically. We're going to be looking at the planets that are up all night long, and we're going to be doing a fun time of looking at planets in a ginormous telescope. Scott, how big does Jupiter look in that telescope in the eyepiece? It's got to be pretty darn
It's
good
big. I
sized.
mean, it's not as big as you expect. I mean, you're kind of looking
What,
like thinking you're going to see something about the size of a basketball. I will tell you through the 100-inch telescope, okay, and I've used the 100 as well. Jupiter looked about the size of a quarter on a dinner plate, something like that. Okay. Um, the Through the 60-inch, it appears slightly smaller than that. But the thing that just overwhelms you is the detail. It's just
mhm.
spectacular, and it is so sharp. Especially if the sky is steady. And Mount Wilson is known for steady skies. It's not a guarantee, but they picked Mount Wilson because of how good the seeing conditions can be from there.
Okay. So, what eyepieces are we going to be using? Are we taking our own eyepieces, or what do they use? Do you know?
They have a selection of eyepieces that they use there, which also includes a 30 millimeter 100-degree Explore Scientific eyepiece that was specially etched for Mount Wilson. It's got the Mount Wilson logo on it, which is kind of cool. But they have some lower power eyepieces. I mean, you're talking about a ton of focal length. So they have some
Hmm.
4-inch eyepieces there that are relatively low power. They look like a coffee can being set into the scope, and those eyepieces were custom made for the 60-inch.
Wow. Wow. Scott, we've got a bunch of people out there. Why don't you run down the list real quick?
Well, I will. We got Pekka Hautala here. We've got, let me see, Osmosis 007. He must be I always say he must be a Bond fan. I am. Mike Overacker's with us. Wade Prunty is watching. Pekka Hautala. Connor Bradley, thank you for watching. He says, if there was a multiverse, how much of an impact would it have on our universe? Well, that's anyone's guess, I
I'm not a
think.
com. I'm
Yeah,
not a
I don't know. I don't know.
cosmologist.
Yeah,
You know,
if it does have any impact, it's already had an impact. I mean, we live in it. It's whatever it is for us, right? Um, Pekka
it's
says it
like I
feels
think
that
of a bunch of
science.
grapes.
What's that?
I think of I think of it like a bunch of grapes almost, right?
Okay.
If each grape is a universe, there's grapes and a bunch around it, but how much effect does the grape have on the grape next to it? I'm not that kind of theoretical mind. I don't know.
So
You know.
here's the point, though. If there was if suddenly we discover that there's a multiverse, that basically means the multiverse is always there. Okay, and
Mhm.
the characteristics that's going on in our universe right now, and what we know of our universe, are are it is what it is. Uh, but what we have experienced, and if you had, some of us had lived since the early 1920s to now, you'd be quite old, but you would have gone, as you mentioned, our universe has been unfolding the entire time to us, and and that's happened through advances in equipment, in instrumentation, in technique, in mathematics. The ability to study big data, and our ability to make instruments that are able to look in all different kinds of wavelengths of light, and learn, spectroscopy and photometry, and all of these things that we have developed, over the last 100 or so years, in the science of astronomy. And so, it's like this never-ending blossom of information and knowledge about what our universe is. And I think it will always be that way. It's just I don't think there's going to get to be a point where we go, aha, that's the universe. That's everything that we know about it. That's all it's ever going to be known about it. There's been scientists and astronomers who have said that in history. We know
Yeah,
everything there is
we've
to know, and
discovered.
we're not going to
Yeah,
really discover much more. These kinds of
right. We've
statements.
discovered.
Yeah, uh, I think
We've discovered everything there is to discover.
to
I,
90% we discovered it all
yeah,
already.
right.
And all it takes is
And
just a
then men
few more
flew.
years of research, and all of that is blown away. So.
Yeah.
Um, that's the it's just the process of science. So and it's hard to say that there's something called scientific fact, because all it takes is some very strong challenges to some well-established theories that you know basically will often force old theories, old hypotheses to be thrown out entirely, and basically we
See,
have to start
Scott,
all over again.
Scott, I think that's a problem a lot of people have with science is they want something to be absolutely final and concrete. They don't want it to change. They want to know that
Oh,
this is it and it's not going to change. And when they hear it's a scientific fact that the Earth is the center of the universe, they
yeah.
want to believe that. And then when science goes, "Oh no, we were wrong. It's really, the sun is the center of the universe," and "Oh no, we were wrong.
No,
We're
that's
part of a
wrong. Yeah.
concept."
Right.
Right. And I think that makes people have a fear of science or a dislike of science because, well, you can't just make up your minds. They want everything to be absolutely concrete
They want something nice and
and
safe and
solid.
secure about,
Uh,
some solid
yeah,
thing to hook your life onto. But that's not
yeah,
what it is. We are explorers. We are on a constant voyage of new knowledge and new realities to us. And
yeah.
so I see it as very exciting. And
Absolutely.
you know, I I often say it. We're in the golden age of astronomy, and and not only starts out in space. It's some people have like this feeling that of separateness, like, well, that's out in space. I'm down here on Earth. You know, none the twain shall meet. Okay, well, that's not true at
Right.
all. The universe is all those subatomic uh, particles and the forces of nature, all the way out to super clusters of galaxies, to uh, the background microwave radiation that we can experience through our
Right.
telescopes like
Television
the
sets.
Wilkinson microscopy, or that
Right.
probe that discovered that kind of lumpy texture of the background radiation. So, um, but I have no doubt that at one point we're going to get some fairly strong evidence that there's more than one universe too. So
Hey, Scott, did you see the joke that Jim Norwood made?
yeah.
He said, "Yeah, read that. Read what he said if you can see it. It's
Okay,
pretty
hold
funny."
on. Jim Norwood, Jim Cameron Gillis, Jim. Oh, we recently discovered that some distant planets are made of sausage. Yes, we did.
But specifically, chorizo sausage.
Chorizo, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah. He got
I
kind
saw
of
that and looked at it. Yeah,
slapped down for that one, right? So, um, so
it was
that's
funny. I mean,
it was
it shows how
funny, but
gullible we
you should
are.
have done it on an April Fool's Day or something, So,
Yeah,
um,
it amazingly did look like. You go, okay, yeah, I can believe that, but I had seen it and didn't really sort of just went, gee, that's not real. But I didn't think about it's a sausage, a slice of pepperoni, basically.
right,
But yeah,
right.
so we should start that the sausage universe, and have people submit pictures of their
Well,
sausage
you know how
planetaries.
people say that
Planetary,
inside of companies that it's kind of a sausage
yeah,
factory because
yeah,
everybody knows that companies, you go to a restaurant, for example, or you go to any business and you see the nice interaction and veneer and the nice furniture and all the rest of it, and what you don't see is all the tough gear grinding that goes on the inside.
right,
So
right,
um, and that's the same is true for science. Definitely, there's a lot of competitiveness amongst professional researchers and professional astronomers. It's very unlike the amateur astronomy world, where it's more about friendship, comradeship, sharing, giving. Um, you don't have amateur astronomers competing for research dollars, like you do
hmm
in the professional world.
right. Okay, Scott, you started out talking about Starmus. Tell us what Starmus is. Now, you've never been before, have you? Or have you
I've
been
never
once?
been. This is the sixth Starmus event, and it was started by Stephen Hawking, Brian May, of Queen, Garrick Israelian, and a couple other guys. Also very involved is David Eicher from Astronomy Magazine, and so this group of people basically wanted to have an event where they were taking the leading people in astrophysics to have them get together to kind of have a brain fest, and but they all enjoyed music, so to have great music, great science being shared at an event. When it was first deployed, it was a very super exclusive expensive event to attend. You know, um, uh, so what has changed in the sixth Starmus is that they're opening it up to the public. You know, more or less. I guess if you had the money before, you could attend as a a general average person, not an astrophysicist or a rock star. Okay. Um, but now you can go to Starmus. I think the ticket price is about $200, and you're going to see some of the amazing physicists there. I know that Kip Thorne is going to be there. A whole list of astrophysicists, astronomers. Sometimes they have astronauts at this event. In fact, I believe an astronaut will be at Starmus this year as well. As far as rock stars, I know that Brian May of Queen has confirmed that he's going to be there. There was some question about whether or not he would actually make it because of a tour schedule he was already on, but that's all worked out. Rick Wakeman, keyboardist of the band Yes, is going to be there, and then I don't know, a dozen other super talented performers are going to be there. There'll be live music. There'll be live talks. Explore Scientific will be there to do a live star party, which will be really cool. And there's also going to be an astrophotography contest, not contest, but school of astrophotography that's being run by Michael Bakich of Astronomy Magazine. Both Dave Eicher and myself have been invited to speak at that event. So that kind of wraps
Now,
up what
where
that's
is
all
it,
about.
Scott?
It is
Where is
in
it?
the
It's not like
country of
anywhere close.
Armenia. It's a Balkan country called Armenia. Excuse me. No, it is Armenia. I'm not sure if they are a Balkan country or not, but
No, I don't
Armenia
think they
is.
are.
What's that?
I do not believe they're a Balkan.
I don't believe they are either. They are. It's an ancient country established in 860
Hmm.
BC. Okay. So this tells you how much I know about it. We are going to be set up, though, at a place called the Temple of Garni. And it is a first century pagan temple that we're going to be at. And so I think it's going to be pretty cool. I feel it's going to be similar to like how Pink Floyd set up, in ancient Rome to give a live concert. So it'll
So
be
it's in Yerevan, right?
it's in here.
Yerevan, Armenia.
Yeah,
So you still have time to get tickets if you got your passport. Still got time to book a flight and get tickets and go to this thing. It's
that's right.
what, two a month? It's September 8, 9, 10, something like that. I mean, you've got a
Five
busy
through 10.
September,
Yes, I
five
do.
through
I
10.
won't be home very
Yeah.
much.
So
Yeah,
you're
September
yeah.
5 through 10.
So
Mhm.
while Scott's away, the mice will play. So yeah, there'll be plenty of work for all of us, though. That just means
Right.
more work taking care of the things he does. So, are you planning on doing the global star parties and your broadcast from there while you're gone?
We will see. I've been told that
What's the plan there?
I'll have good internet connection, and we're going to do our best to broadcast live from Yerevan.
Yeah. So, Norm Hughes asked the question, and this is actually a really good one, Norm. Every question is a good one, but I like your thinking here. Would they ever have a Starmus in the U.S.? Does it change location every time?
It has changed location, but almost always in Europe. So I don't know that there's an opportunity for it to come to the United States. The founders of Starmus are all European, from when I understand. So, although Dave Eicher is on the board of Starmus, he is, of course, from the USA. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But if you like music, you like astronomy, and you want to have some great speakers there, kind of mini Starmus is actually going to the Arizona Dark Sky Star Party, which is, as we mentioned, morphing into the Oracle um, Dark Sky Cultural Festival.
Right. So you've got time to go to, if you're in the United States, you don't have to have a passport to go to Arizona or California to both
That's
those
right.
events. And there's plenty of room in the Arizona Dark Sky Star Party. We don't have a size limit on that per se, but
Right.
Mount Wilson is limited to 25. So you need to, if you want to go, you need to get your reservations in through buying tickets through our website. So Scott, want to show you. We were talking a little while ago. We have a product that we came out with, a new product that we came out with, that is the ES Reflex sight. It is a zero power finder scope with a dovetail, and this has a built-in dew cover we're going to take off. And Paul, if you can get the page up to show what the reticle looks like, that would be cool. It has a mini dovetail right here, so it either fits on a mini dovetail, or if you want to buy, if you have an Explore Scientific or a Meade telescope with that foot, you can buy our hybrid foot and change out the piece on the telescope, which will hold either the mini dovetail or the Explore Scientific / Meade finder base as well. We are selling a lot of these. I took a couple to actually use at the Nebraska Star Party a couple of weeks ago, and
Mm-hmm.
one of them was given away as a door prize, Scott. And I actually
Oh,
posted a video on Facebook. Some of you may have seen this. The guy won it, and he said, "I'm going to give it to my daughter." And the next evening, when we're getting ready for the meal where they do the giveaways, he came up and he says, "Do you have one of those?" And I went, "Well, yeah, I sure do." And he says, "I want to buy one for myself because I already told my daughter she could have that one. So I like it so much, I'm buying one for myself."
yeah.
And then I ended up selling the other one as well. It was a really popular there, and sold a few more.
Yeah, we could
And
have brought a
I
bunch of
know
them.
I could have, but we don't want to do sales because it's hard to keep up with the equipment, with the boxes, and you don't have a secure location to put them in. And you know,
That's
I'm
true.
I'm hauling the I'm hauling the 20-inch around and putting it up and taking it down, and have the 120 millimeter giant binoculars that just blew people away. And
Right.
it's hard. And I actually took these to use on those and ended up selling both of them. But this has become a really popular. We're selling lots of these. I was amazed at how many we sold over the weekend. So, uh, Paul, do you have that queued up to show what the reticle looks like? Computer is crashing, he says. So the reticle has a three bullseye circle. It's a half a degree, 2 degrees, and 4 degrees. But instead of being solid red lines, they're little dots of LEDs. And so you can turn it down real low. And by not having that full ring, you can see stars, and it's much easier. Scott, are you trying to get off the page? Looks like you're
I'm
working the
trying. Yeah,
computer.
let me
Okay.
see if I can share the
Yeah.
page so that people understand what you're
So yeah, the
talking about.
reticle is really well thought out. It's nice, elegant curved design. We tried to make it look like part of the Explore Scientific DNA. Has three buttons back here so you can align the red dots with where your telescope's looking to make it an accurate finder scope. Has a really nice rheostat, or brightness knob that's also an on-off. Runs off of two AAA batteries, and if you remember, turn this off when you're not using it. Scott, this thing is going to last for a long, long time.
Long time. Oh yeah.
Basically, and I learned this with my other red dot finders. I threw the batteries away every 2 years at maximum. Try to do it more. Scott, your
Here we
email is
go.
showing right now.
Yep.
Your
Email.
email is showing. Your email is showing right now. Yes, sir.
Well,
So anyway,
copy.
I throw the batteries away because I don't want them to get corroded, right? But it's really like I said, built-in dew shield. Simply goes in. I always do it this way. Of course, it's going to be hard because I'm doing it live on television. You get it down there in the groove, and it just snaps in just like that. Of course, like I said, oh, you have to get it in the groove. There we go. And so if I'm using this all the time, I'm going to put a rubber band around this to hold this in place, because when you point it at the sky, it just slips and falls. But if you got it pointed up the sky and you're not using it, and you're getting dew buildup, it's going to build up on top of this little cover right here, right? When you need to use it, you simply just take it off, point your telescope up there, get it centered up on the target you're looking for, and then simply,
Right.
I never get it far enough back in there.
And then go back in correctly.
And there we go. You don't want to force these things, obviously. There we go. There we go. Once you get it, and it just sets in place just like that.
You notice on the bottom of the foot, too, is a 1/4 thread. This could fit onto a tripod. Yep. People have used reflex sights like this for all kinds of reasons, to sight other types of instruments onto a distant target.
So, Scott, you could also, because it's a 1/4 to 20.
Email is still only showing.
Scott, your email is the only thing that's showing still. I think you've shared your email screen and not your other screen. So you could put this like on top of our telescopes. The carry handle has a slot in it, and that's a great place to put something like this up on top of that. You won't have to put it into the finder foot if you've already got something else there as well. Paul, did you ever get that reticle up? So
I can't get my page to.
His page isn't going to load either. Okay, so give it a shot and try it again.
Let me try again. No, that's not.
So what's?
All right. Take our word for it, guys. It's got a beautiful.
It's spectacular. So the middle. So here's the cool part. The little tiny circle in the middle is 1/2 degree, which is the size of the full moon. So you don't want to think about this when you look at this going, gee, the full moon's not that big, it's bigger than that. But when you look up in the sky, that center circle is the size of the full moon. So that gives you a good reference point for where how much area of the sky this covers. What's nice about a zero power is you can use it with both eyes open. Right? Exactly. And so I always use my dominant. I use my dominant eye. My left eye is my dominant eye, and I can look through it right here, and it's lined up perfect. But I can see the rest of the sky as well, and so I can tell where I'm pointing my telescope and really make this a really functional.
Way far back away from the.
Exactly. You don't have to be up here like this. I'm working a lot of times back here behind it to really, so I can see everything coming together in front of me. But the ES reflect sight, the skew is ES reflect, but it's a reflex sight. And by the way, that's trademarked by Explore Scientific, the term reflex sight. We determined that nobody had trademarked that name, so we went, let's do that. So Cameron Gillis says, I've moved my reflex finder across 3 different scopes. Well, Cameron, you need to be lazier than that. You need to buy 2 more so you don't have to move your sight, right? Leave them on so you don't have to do the adjustment. Just 3 of them.
I actually do that. You can do that. So right. Jim worked with. I thought mine wasn't working at first, and I realized I was looking through it backwards.
Yeah. Sigh, he says. Pekka, how accurate is the finder holder holes drilled on the telescope? How accurate is the finder holder holes drilled on the telescope? Pekka, I don't understand your question. Scott, you got any?
How accurate is the finder holder hole?
Oh, I think he's talking about moving putting on the hybrid foot.
It depends on your telescope, Pekka. It's near impossible to have like a universal, because all the telescope makers did something different depending on which model of telescope they were building.
So what we can do is
a Celestron hole pattern is not the same as like a Meade hole pattern, for example.
Right. But what you could do is, if you can measure from the left edge of the hole of one hole to the left edge of the other hole, so that way you're not trying to measure the middles from the middle of the holes. You can measure the edges of the holes. You can measure here and here, get that distance, and Pekka, shoot me a message and tell me what that is, and I'll just measure it and tell you, yeah, it sounds like it's going to work. Because what matters is the distance apart of those two holes. And I don't know if our website says the distance of the holes apart. If it doesn't, I can make that happen, because that needs to be on the website, because that'll tell people whether they can put it onto their telescope or not.
With the drawing of the adapter onto the page and show all the dimensions.
Yeah, and show,
The holes are
and it'll
slotted.
work with the holes are slotted, so slide forward and backwards. And there's 4 holes actually. So if you have a 4-hole configuration, you can make it work. Or if you have like an ED80 that just has 2 holes for a finder, you can put it on there as well. It'll work with both. There was some pretty smart design went into when that was created, and Leo and Alex and you were working on that. So, all right. Any other comments, Scott?
Cameron says the reflex side is excellent, so we appreciate that.
So we have.
So thank you.
So we have
By the way,
at least
Cameron
a couple
Gillis
of 3 people.
Yeah, Cameron's going to be on Global Star Party tonight. He hasn't been on in a long time.
Awesome.
So that's cool. Yeah. Let me.
You'll have plenty to talk about.
Yeah, I'll go over the schedule. We also wanted to talk a little bit about the latest issue of Skies. Skies Up magazine is out. It's a free global magazine. You can download it, and you just go to explorescientific.com/skies, SKYSUP, Skies Up, and download your copy.
Right.
Let's see. So our schedule tonight is going to start off, of course, with David Levy. From the Astronomical League, Terry Mann's going to be on, sharing those astronomical questions and door prizes with us. Professor Kareem Jaffer will be on with his presentation of Sharing the Universe. Young Lucas Verrera from the Cosmic Generation is going to be on. And so he's going to be talking about his activity with the Cosmic Generation, which is totally cool. Maxi Falaris will be talking about, it's astrophotography to the max, and he'll be talking about his latest images under his Argentinian skies. Dan Higgins from Astroworld TV will be on. We've got Bob Fugate will be on, covering more about his astrophotographs, I would imagine. We'll have a 10-minute break. Nico the Hammer comes on. Caesar Brolo will be up next, and then Adrian Bradley. Cameron Gillis comes on, and then Professor Marcello Souza. So, and that kind of wraps up tonight's program. This starts at 6 p.m. Central, which is just about a little bit less than an hour and a half from now.
Right. So Mike Overacker asked, are there quantity discounts? I have 12 telescopes. Mike, I could probably work out a quantity discount for you at that point. That might be on the table if you wanted one for every telescope. Of course, in exchange, we'd want to get them all lined up and take one of those product shots where you can see every one of them on every telescope.
Everyone, that's right.
Everyone on every telescope. So anyway, Scott, that's quite a lineup. Going to be done in what, 45 minutes?
The
you
whole
think
show?
You can finish the entire star? That's a joke.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. It starts at 6. You'll probably get it at about 10 o'clock, something like that. So that's Central Time.
Right, Central U.S. time.
Doing a run again. It's been a couple of weeks since we've done one.
Right. And you didn't do it yesterday because you were traveling and couldn't get prepared, so that's why you moved it to Thursday.
Couldn't do it Tuesday. Yeah, so it's Thursday. Right. That's right. Mm-hmm.
So anyway, you're going to be next Tuesday then, you think? Is the plan to come back on Tuesday?
I'll let everyone know one way or the other. So I may have another short business trip to go on. So,
the lineups that Scott gets, let me just say, it doesn't just happen organically. He has people wanting to be on it, but it takes a lot of work to line up and slot all the people, because some people say, I want an early slot or a late slot. and Scott spends a lot of
We
time.
have great presenters, and they make it pretty
Yeah,
easy on them though. So
yeah.
that's
But
true.
it still takes
It
work
is
to do
work.
the legwork to contact them and coordinate them.
It
It's
is
not
work.
just everybody just sort of shows up to have a beer. It takes work to find the speakers and get them lined up. So it's quite an effort, but an amazing event that just sort of happened, a year and a half ago.
Hmm.
You know, pushing pushing 2 years ago now, when just COVID hit, and in response to COVID, we wanted to do something, and sort of the spur of the moment had a star party, and pretty quickly we learned it was going to be a global star party. So,
Right.
um,
It used to
Scott,
be
do you have any
called
plans
Virtual
to
Star Party.
virtual star party? Yep.
It used to be
Do
called
you have any
Virtual.
plans to? We had done a European version before. Any
Yep.
plans to do, change the hours to fit other people? You've done that a
Well,
couple of times.
we've done more than a couple of specialized global star parties. We did one during the Great Conjunction between Saturn and
Hmm.
Jupiter, which ran all day long. We had four different segments
That was
that we
cool.
broadcasted in. Um, we have had, um, yeah, we did the European one. We did the 45-degree global star party, which was 45 degrees north and 45 degrees south. So the Royal Astronomical Society and the Astronomical Society down there in New Zealand, co-hosted a star party, which was really a lot of fun. Those are just, and we've had astronomy clubs host it. Um, we have had people that are regular presenters on Global Star Party actually play the host of Global Star Party. We'll do it again. We'll do it again just to
Yeah.
add some variety. But if your club is interested in hosting a Global Star Party and you want us to run the technical side of it for you, we're all for it. So just get in touch with
Yeah.
me, and you can just use my email at s@explorescientific.com, and we'll talk it over and see what you got in mind. So
Yep. Well, my day is fulfilled now. Harold Locke bought a reflex site, so my day is fulfilled. I can go home now.
you can go
So
home. Your day is
I
done.
can go
That's
home
right.
now. My day is done. Yes, indeed. No, there's more work to do. There's always plenty to do here.
Right.
It's just great to see the communities that we have built here on social media. A lot of regulars, but we see some
Oh
new
yeah.
people coming in and join, and always fun. So, and talk about new people. There is a thirst for astronomy out there. We've had Sugar Creek Astronomical Society, one of the club I helped found back over 20 years ago. In the past 2 months, has gained 5 new family units that have just found us through outreach and on Facebook and places, and just a massive thirst for knowledge. And they're like, how do you find things in the sky? And I say, real simple: find a constellation get a planisphere, and start working on the constellations in that neighborhood, and
Right.
move out from there. But if you have the chance to do outreach, you put up a um, a telescope on a street corner somewhere, and it's like dropping a potato chip during a picnic. There's going to be somebody come up and find you real quick, and and it's just so much fun for me to do that outreach and to let people look through the telescope, most for the first time, and let them see Saturn. Saturn's getting up earlier in the evening now.
Mhm.
It's an object that will truly make some people cry.
Oh, that blows
The
people
moon is
away.
the same thing.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah,
believe Saturn's actually in the eyepiece. Everybody that's
right.
done outreach and has shown Saturn has had this experience where they get people that come up and ask if that's a slide or, is it a projection of some sort? They can't believe it's real.
Right,
So,
right,
because they can see the rings.
right. And it just literally, we've had people with a 16-inch dial. People think there's a picture down in there they're looking at, and we have to literally show them the other end of the opening of the telescope. So there's no picture. and see my hand and move your hand in front of it and let them look at the eyepiece and see it moving. And they still think it's some kind of magic, and they just can't comprehend that that's what it really looks like. And
Right.
that is just so special. And, but find those people, add them to your club, bring them into the fold because, it's a great hobby that we all love, but we need to be spreading it for the future and letting our love shine onto a new generation of people
Yep.
who are going to
Oh,
carry
yeah.
this ball forward, into the middle part of the century, for sure. So, anything
Jim
else, Scott?
Norwood says it's easy to test to find out if someone's an alien. Earthlings are impressed when you show them Saturn. Aliens are not impressed.
Very good.
Do
Well,
you ever
then
have
I
that happen to
frankly,
you?
I frankly have shown Saturn to some people, and they were like, "Eh."
And Wade
So it
says
must have been
setting up a
aliens.
telescope is like painting your house orange in a in an HOA, in a condo association. Someone is going to come visit you.
Yeah,
right.
but wait, that's a
I've
bad
never heard
visit.
the
These are
dropping
all
at a picnic one. I've never heard that idiom before.
really okay.
Really?
Go on a picnic and go on a picnic and drop a potato chip. See how long it takes ants to find it.
Oh,
That's what it
ants.
refers
Ants. That's
to.
yeah.
Yeah,
I agree with that one. I
yeah,
agree with that.
ants. But
All right.
I'm not referring to people who want to look through our telescopes as ants.
It's
It's
just
just a
like
metaphor.
people like doing dumpster diving into the potato chip, but
Yeah. Oh, and by the
anyhow,
way, if you ever need to start a fire and have a potato chip with you and a lighter, potato chips, Pringles, a Dorito, great
very
survival
flammable.
tool. You can eat the rest of them, but you can use one to start a fire with. Yeah, for sure. So, always a good skill to have to be prepared, and this is what we talk about periodically. When I went to the Nebraska Star Party, I literally made a checklist for everything I was taking from here and everything I was taking from the house and made my wife do it. And we literally checked off boots, shoes,
Socks.
this number of pants, socks,
Yeah.
literally pills.
Yeah.
And, when we loaded Tyler, thank you, Tyler. He's not in here. He was. Tyler showed up that Saturday morning when we were leaving to help me load the truck. And we went over the checklist, and I had a box of, our power bank, flashlight that will run the Exos 100 and
Sure.
PMC 8 and use it to. I met a guy, Scott, who uses his power bank to run his CPAP. He said he can get 4 days of CPAP use off of it
Oh
of normal
wow.
nights.
Okay.
So that was a cool use.
Mm-hmm.
But he but literally checking off everything to make sure we didn't get up there without something. And
Right.
I would have taken, wanted to make sure I had Allen wrenches in case somebody needed something fixed. Some standard set of tools are always in my truck. But almost took, Scott, the coats out of my truck. I have a double cab pickup truck, and I just keep coats in the back all year. We almost left them, and we're glad we left coats. Left them at home. We left them in the back of the pickup truck, and there was a couple of nights in Nebraska.
You got
It
chilly.
got down in the 60s, and the wind was blowing 8 or 10 miles an hour. It was breezy, and my wife had not taken any long pants. She had one pair of sweats that she had
Oh.
taken, and she was thankful to have that pair of
Yeah.
sweatpants.
Everybody
Otherwise, she
thinks
had shorts.
it's summertime that it's not going to get
Yeah,
cold. So right.
correct. So
Mm-hmm.
anyway,
All right. Well,
absolutely.
we got a global star party to get set for here, so we want to wish everybody a good evening. We hope that you tune in on these same channels that you're watching right now to watch Global Star Party, which starts at 6 p.m., which is roughly an hour and 10 minutes from now. So thanks, and keep looking up.